Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Master English. I'm your host, Sarah, and I am so excited to be with you today for a very special, extended episode. Usually, we talk about the practical parts of English, the grammar rules, the new vocabulary, the listening exercises. These are the tools you need to build your English skills, like the bricks and wood you need to build a house. But today, we are going to talk about the most important part of building that house, the architect. And that architect is you. It's your mind. We are going to dive deep into a powerful idea called the law of attraction and explore how it can completely change your journey with the English language. You might have heard about this idea before in movies or books, but how can we use it for something practical, like learning a language? That is our big question today. I promise you, by the end of this episode, you will have a new way to think about learning and a powerful set of mental tools to help you reach your goals faster and with more joy. So, grab a cup of tea, find a comfortable seat, and let's talk about the secret mindset for English fluency. First, let's make this simple. What is the law of attraction? The basic idea is this: what you think about, you bring about. In other words, your thoughts are powerful. They are like magnets. If you have positive, happy, and successful thoughts, you attract positive, happy, and successful experiences into your life. If you have negative, worried, or doubtful thoughts, you tend to attract more of those difficult experiences. Now, this is not magic. It's not about wishing for something and getting it the next day with no effort. It's about how your mindset, your way of thinking, changes your actions, your motivation, and how you see the world around you. Let's connect this directly to learning English. Have you ever had a thought like this? Oh, my pronunciation is terrible. I should not speak. When you think this thought, what happens? You probably feel nervous, your body becomes tense, and as a result, you decide not to speak in your English class, or you avoid talking to a native speaker. Your negative thought led to a negative action, or no action, which means you missed an opportunity to practice and improve. Now, imagine a different thought. My pronunciation is not perfect, but I am learning. Every time I speak, I get a little better. How does that thought make you feel? Maybe a little more confident? A little more brave? With that thought, you are more likely to try speaking. You might make a mistake, but that's okay. You took a positive action. You practiced. You learned something. Your positive thought created a positive opportunity. This is the law of attraction in action. It's about choosing thoughts that help you, that open doors for you instead of thoughts that close them. The science behind this is fascinating. Our brains have something called neuroplasticity. This is a big word, but it means that our brain is not fixed. It can change. When we repeat a thought or an action many times, we create strong connections or pathways in our brain. If you constantly think English is hard, you are building a very strong difficulty pathway. Your brain will then look for evidence to prove that this is true. It will notice every difficult grammar rule and every new word you don't know. But if you start to intentionally think, I am a capable English learner, you begin building a new, positive pathway. Your brain will start to notice your successes. It will see the new words you do learn, the sentences you do understand, and the conversations you do have. You are training your brain to see opportunities, not just obstacles. This mindset shift is the foundation. It's the solid ground on which we can build all our English skills. It helps us overcome the biggest enemy of any language learner: fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. By using the law of attraction, we learn to manage this fear and transform it into fuel for our journey. Okay, so we understand the why. A positive mindset is crucial, but how do we actually do it? It's easy to say, think positive, but sometimes our brains are full of worry and doubt. So I want to give you a toolkit. These are 4 practical, powerful techniques you can start using today to apply the law of attraction to your English learning. Technique number 1, the power of positive affirmations. An affirmation is a short, positive statement that you declare to be true. The goal is to say it with feeling, to repeat it, and to start believing it. It's like exercising a muscle in your brain, the positivity muscle. At first, it might feel strange or even untrue, but with repetition, it becomes a natural part of your thinking. Why do affirmations work? They work because they interrupt our negative thought patterns. When that little voice in your head says, "You will never remember all these phrasal verbs," you can consciously replace it with an affirmation. So how you do it? You can write them down, say them aloud in the morning, or repeat them silently before you start studying. The key is to make them personal and present. Use "I am," not "I will be." Let's look at some examples for different areas of English learning. For speaking confidence, I am a confident and clear English speaker. My voice is calm and steady when I speak English. I express my ideas in English with ease. Every day, it becomes easier for me to speak English. I enjoy speaking English with other people. For listening skills, I understand spoken English easily and naturally. My listening skills are improving all the time. I can follow conversations in English movies and podcasts. I am patient with myself as I learn to understand different accents. For vocabulary and grammar, I learn and remember new English words easily. Grammar rules make sense to me. My English vocabulary is growing larger every day. I am a natural language learner. For overall motivation, I am proud of my progress in English. Learning English is a fun and rewarding adventure. I am committed to reaching my English fluency goals. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. How to make it a habit? Choose 2 or 3 affirmations that feel most important to you right now. Write them on sticky notes and put them where you will see them every day, on your mirror, your computer, or the first page of your notebook. Spend just 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute in the evening saying them out loud. Feel the emotion behind the words. This simple act can slowly but surely change the negative conversations you have with yourself. Technique number 2, mastering visualization. Our brains are incredibly powerful. They often can't tell the difference between a real memory and a very detailed, imagined experience. Visualization uses this fact to our advantage. It's like a mental rehearsal for success. Top athletes, musicians, and public speakers all use this technique. They see themselves winning the race or giving the perfect performance before it even happens. We can do the same with English. There are 2 types of visualization. 1, process visualization. You imagine yourself enjoying the process of learning. You see yourself sitting at your desk, focused and happy while you study. You imagine yourself listening to an English podcast on your walk, understanding and smiling. This makes the daily work of learning feel more enjoyable and less like a chore. 2. Outcome visualization. You imagine the result of your hard work. You see yourself in a future situation using your English skills successfully. This is incredibly motivating because it connects you to the reason why you are learning English. Let's try a guided outcome visualization together. If you can, find a quiet place, close your eyes, and just listen to my voice. Take a deep breath in and out. Relax your shoulders. Now, I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. You are walking into a building for a job interview. This is a job you really, really want. The interview will be in English. See the room. What does it look like? Is the chair comfortable? See the interviewer, or maybe 2 interviewers, sitting across from you. They are smiling. Now, they ask you the first question in English. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I want you to imagine yourself answering. Hear your own voice. It's calm, clear, and confident. The words are flowing easily. You are not searching for vocabulary. The right words are just there. You tell them about your experience, your skills, and your passion for this job. See the look on the interviewers' faces. They are nodding. They are impressed. They understand everything you are saying. Feel the feeling in your chest. It's a feeling of pride, of confidence, of success. You are doing it. You are communicating perfectly in English. Now they ask a more difficult question. You take a moment, you think, and then you give a thoughtful, intelligent answer. You even make a little joke, and they laugh. The atmosphere in the room is warm and positive. The interview ends. You shake their hands. They say, "Thank you for coming in. Your English is excellent." Imagine walking out of that room. How do you feel? You feel amazing. You are proud of yourself. You are excited for the future. Now, you can open your eyes. How did that feel? By doing this kind of exercise for just 5 minutes a day, you are programming your mind for success. You are building the belief that it is possible. You are creating a positive emotional connection to your goal, which will keep you motivated when studying feels difficult. You can create visualizations for any situation: traveling and asking for directions, having a video call with a friend from another country, understanding a movie without subtitles, or giving a presentation. The more detailed and emotional you make it, the more powerful it will be. Technique number 3. Create a positive immersion environment. The law of attraction also tells us that what we surround ourselves with influences our thoughts and feelings. If you live in a house filled with junk food, it's very hard to eat healthy. If you surround yourself with negativity, it's hard to be positive. The same is true for learning English. We need to create an environment that makes learning feel natural, easy, and fun. This is about immersion, but a special kind of positive immersion. Here are some deep dive ideas on how to build this environment. Curate your digital world. Phone language. This is a classic tip for a reason. Change the language of your phone to English. You will learn words like settings, inbox, missed call, and reminder without even trying. At first, it's challenging, but after a week, it will feel normal. On social media, go through your Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Follow at least 5 to 10 new accounts that post in English about topics you love. Do you love cooking? Follow a chef from the UK. Love fashion? Follow a blogger from New York. Love science? Follow a NASA page. Your social media feed will become a fun, easy English lesson. Music and podcasts. Create a playlist on Spotify or Apple Music of songs in English that make you feel happy and confident. Don't worry about understanding every word, just feel the music. Find 1 or 2 English podcasts, like this one, that you enjoy. Listen while you are driving, cleaning, or exercising. It's about surrounding your ears with the sounds and rhythm of the language. Design your physical space. Visual cues. Use those sticky notes we talked about for affirmations, but also use them for vocabulary. Label things in your house. Put a note that says, "the mirror," on your mirror. "The kettle," on your kettle. It's a simple way to see words every day. English Corner. Create a small, special place in your home just for learning English. It could be a specific chair with a small table. Have your favorite English book there, a nice notebook, and a good pen. Make it a pleasant, inviting place you want to go. This tells your brain this is a special, positive activity. The power of journaling for attraction. Success log. Every single day, at the end of the day, write down 3 English successes. They can be very small. For example, 1, I understood the chorus of a song on the radio. 2, I learned a new phrasal verb to look forward to. 3, I watched a 1-minute video in English and understood the main idea. This trains your brain to look for your progress, not your failures. It builds momentum and proves to you that you are improving. Gratitude journaling. Write down things you are grateful for about your English learning journey. For example, I am grateful for the internet, which gives me access to so many free resources. I am grateful for my teacher, who is so patient. I am grateful for my brain's ability to learn new things. Gratitude is one of the highest positive emotions, and it attracts more things to be grateful for. Technique number 4. Scripting your fluent future. This last technique is a bit more advanced, but it is incredibly powerful. It's called scripting. Scripting is like writing a diary entry, but you write it from the perspective of your future self who has already achieved your goal. You write it in the present tense, as if it is happening right now. This works because it allows you to step into the feeling of being a fluent English speaker. It makes the dream feel real, tangible, and achievable. Here's how to do it. Take a notebook and at the top of the page, write a future date, maybe 6 months or 1 year from today. For example, October 8, 2026. Then you write about your day as if you are living that day as a fluent English speaker. Describe what you did, who you talked to, and most importantly, how you felt using your English skills. Be very detailed. Let's write a short example together. Date: October 8, 2026. What an amazing day! I woke up this morning feeling so energized. The first thing I did was listen to the BBC World News podcast while making my coffee. It felt so normal, just catching up on the day's events. I didn't even think about the fact that it was in English. It was just information. Then, at work, we had our big international team meeting. My boss asked me to lead the first part of the presentation. A year ago, my heart would have been beating so fast. But today, I just felt calm and prepared. I stood up and explained the project's progress clearly. I answered questions from my colleagues in Germany and the United States without any hesitation. The best moment was when my colleague from San Francisco, David, sent me a message afterwards saying, "Great job. Your presentation was so clear and persuasive." I felt so proud. This evening, I called my friend who lives in Australia. We talked for an hour about everything: our lives, our plans for the holidays, a funny movie we both watched. We were laughing so much. It feels so wonderful to connect with her so deeply without any language barrier. Speaking English feels as natural as breathing now. I'm so grateful for the skill and all the doors it has opened for me. Can you feel the difference? You are not just saying, "I want to be fluent." You are describing the reality of fluency. You are feeling the pride, the connection, the ease. Doing this once a week can dramatically shift your beliefs about what is possible for you. I know these techniques can sound very mental and internal, so I want to share some stories from listeners around the world who have put these ideas into practice. These are real-world examples of how changing your mindset can change your results. Story number 1. Kenji from Japan and overcoming shyness. Our first story is from Kenji, a software developer from Osaka, Japan. Kenji was technically very good at English. He had a great vocabulary and understood grammar perfectly from years of study. But he had one huge problem. He was incredibly shy and terrified of making mistakes when speaking. His company had international clients, and he needed to join video calls, but he would stay silent, afraid that his accent was too strong or that he would use the wrong word. Kenji decided to try visualization. Every morning, for 10 minutes before work, he would sit quietly at his desk. He would visualize his team's video call. But in his mind, he wasn't the silent one. He imagined himself speaking clearly and confidently. He visualized himself explaining a technical problem. He saw his international colleagues nodding in understanding. He imagined himself asking a question. He focused on the feeling of being a helpful and respected member of the team. He did this every single day for 3 weeks. He told me that at first, nothing changed. He was still quiet on the calls. But then, one day, a client asked a question that he knew the answer to. Normally, he would have stayed silent, but this time, the image from his visualization was so strong in his mind. Before he could stop himself, he unmuted his microphone and said, "I can answer that." He explained the solution. His voice was a little shaky, but he did it. His manager thanked him after the call. That small success gave him a huge boost of confidence. Kenji said the visualization practice was like building a bridge in his mind from "I can't" to "I can." He continued the practice, and now he is an active participant in all his international meetings. Now we're at story number 2, Maria from Brazil and finding joy in studying. Next, let's go to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to meet Maria. Maria is a university student who needed to pass the IELTS exam to study abroad. She was studying for hours every day, but she felt bored and frustrated. She saw English as a difficult subject she had to learn, not something she wanted to learn. Her motivation was very low. Maria started using 2 techniques: positive affirmations and the success log. Every morning, she would look at herself in the mirror and say, "I am an intelligent and successful student. Learning English is fun and brings me closer to my dream." She admitted it felt silly at first, but she kept going. The bigger change came from the success log. Every night, she forced herself to write down 3 small wins. Some days it was hard. She would write things like, I studied for 20 minutes without looking at my phone, or I learned 1 new idiom. But as the days went by, her list started to grow. I had a 5-minute chat in English with a tourist I met. I understood 80% of an episode of Friends without subtitles. She said that this simple act of focusing on her small successes completely changed her perspective. She started to see evidence of her improvement everywhere. Studying stopped being a chore and started feeling like a game where she could collect wins every day. This positive feedback loop created by her kept her motivated. 6 months later, she got the score she needed on her IELTS test and is now planning her studies in Canada. Story number 3, Fatima from Egypt and building an immersion lifestyle. Our third story comes from Fatima in Cairo, Egypt. Fatima is a mother of 2 who dreamed of being able to help her children with their English homework and watch English movies with them as a family. She didn't have much time for formal classes. She felt stuck. Fatima decided to focus on creating a positive immersion environment. She couldn't move to an English-speaking country, so she brought the country to her. She started with what she loved, cooking. She found famous chefs on YouTube from the UK and Australia and started following their recipes. She was learning cooking vocabulary and listening to native speakers in a context she found interesting. Next, she changed the radio station in her car to an English news station for her morning commute. She changed her Facebook feed to follow pages about parenting and gardening in English. She made a family rule. Friday night is English movie night, where they watch a children's movie in English with subtitles. Fatima told me the biggest shift was that English was no longer a separate subject. It became part of her life, woven into the things she already did and loved. She was learning passively, absorbing the language without the pressure of a classroom. She feels more connected to her children, and her confidence has grown so much that she recently joined a local conversation club to practice speaking. She attracted English into her daily life, and it stayed.
We have covered so much today. We've talked about the power of your thoughts, and we've gone through 4 specific, powerful techniques: affirmations, visualization, creating a positive environment, and scripting. We've heard inspiring stories from Kenji, Maria, and Fatima. Now it's your turn. Knowledge is wonderful, but action is where the transformation happens. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed and think you have to do everything at once. The key is to start small. So, here is your weekly challenge. I want you to choose one of the techniques we discussed today, just one, and I want you to practice it every day for the next 7 days. If you choose affirmations, select 3 affirmations that resonate with you. Write them down and say them every morning and every evening for the whole week. If you choose visualization, dedicate 5 minutes each day to visualize a specific English-speaking goal. See it, feel it, believe it. If you choose to create a positive environment, pick 3 small changes you can make. Maybe it's following 5 new Instagram accounts, changing your phone language, and creating 1 English music playlist. If you choose scripting, just once this week, sit down for 15 to 20 minutes and write 1 future self journal entry. Describe your perfect English-speaking day in detail. At the end of the week, I want you to notice how you feel. Do you feel a little more motivated? A little more positive about your English learning? A little more confident? I believe you will. Remember, this is a journey. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be consistent. Every positive thought is a seed you plant. Every positive action is you watering that seed. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your small wins, and trust the process. You are the architect of your own success, and you have the power to build a beautiful future where you are a confident, fluent, and happy English speaker. You absolutely can do this.
That is all the time we have for this special episode of Let's Master English. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you feel inspired and ready to put these ideas into action. Join our online community to share which technique you chose for your weekly challenge. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, keep thinking positive thoughts, keep practicing, and keep mastering English. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.